Hi everyone, welcome to the next session of SAP BW online training tutorials. So in this session I'm going to explain about the last two info providers available in SAP BW. Those are transient provider and composite provider. So these two providers are new in BW and are available from BW 7.3. So what is a transient provider? The main objective of transient provider is to provide a real-time reporting to the users without having BW system separately. So we are not going to load data from OLTP, so which is source, to OLAP, which is data warehousing system. Instead of loading the data from OLTP to OLAP, we'll create reports on OLTP system itself, which is source, online transactional processing system. So as we are directly going to create reports on OLTP system itself, transient providers are going to be logical structures in nature. That means it's purely logical. It doesn't, or it's not going to contain any metadata also. Like, even though multi-providers and infosets are logical structures, it contains metadata, but it doesn't contain data. Whereas in transient providers case, it doesn't contain metadata as well. It's just purely logical in nature. So we don't need any BW system also, separate BW system. From SAP NetWeaver 2004 onwards, both OLTP system and OLAP system can be on the same server. When we have OLTP system and OLAP system on the same server, OLAP, which is SAP BW, so whenever I refer OLTP, it's online transactional processing system. Example is ECC. So when we say online transactional processing, it is optimized to process your transactions. So when we say processing transactions, it's always going to be inserting data into database. So it's always optimized for writing. Okay, so ECC, optimized for writing. When I refer OLAP, it's online analytical processing system. One example is BW. So it's analytical. So if anyone has to perform analysis or analytics, he has to get the data from system, then only he can perform analytics. So it's always read optimized or optimized for reading. So usually till now, whatever the objects we have created in OLAP system, and we loaded data from OLTP to OLAP system. So here in transient provider case, we don't need to have OLAP system. We can directly create reports on OLTP system using transient provider. So in this case, like for transient providers, OLAP system should be in OLTP system, because it's possible from SAP NetWeaver 2004. So if we have OLAP, which is BW system in ECC itself, then that particular BW system is called embedded BW system. So if you have embedded BW system, then it is possible to have, or it is possible to create a transient providers in the BW, which is embedded BW. So what is going to be the source for a transient provider? So source can be data sources available in ECC, or source can be info sets in ECC, or source can be analytical index providers. So when we say analytical index, it's one kind of operational data provisioning techniques. So we can use any of this as a source, and we can create reports using BEX tools. So other than, transient provider can be used as source to create reports using BEX tools. So other than creating reports in BEX tools, we can also expose transient providers to other BW reporting tools as well. Sorry, other reporting tools. So when we say other reporting tools, it can be a BO, which is business objects. So we can expose transient providers to BO reporting tools using BIX connection. So BIX stands for Business Intelligence for Consumer Services. So using BIX connection, we can also expose transient providers to BO reporting tools as well. So then, so this is about transient providers, because there is nothing we have to create manually for transient providers. Then the next one is composite providers. So composite providers is mainly for end users, like it's for business users, where let's say they have obviously all the actual data or actual transactions that has happened in their OLTP system, will load them to OLAP system. Let's say user have some secured plan data, and you don't want to expose or give it to others to load it to BW, then do the analysis. So he has his own planned data which he wants to compare it with actual. So what he can do is he can create a composite provider using actual info cube and with the planned data he has, and then he can perform his own analysis in his desktop. So it's not going to be shared with anyone. So composite providers are mainly for business users and can be created using BW workspaces. And once composite providers are built, we can create reports using BEX tools. So these about both transient provider and composite provider, as one is purely logical structure which doesn't contain metadata, and other one is for end users. So we are not going to have any practical work wherein we are going to create both transient and composite providers. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.